Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Austin Snodgrass, and you are watching Mocs Talk. Mocs Talk broadcasts once a week to bring you up to date on the latest news around Florida Southern and Lakeland. Here's a quick look at what's coming up on today's show. Michelle Maldonado reports on the trash can situation at FSC. A group of local students are celebrating Halloween in style. And Olivia DeArmond visits Black and Brew Coffee House in downtown Lakeland. But first, here are the top stories for today. Florida Southern was recognized by Colleges of Distinction as one of the top universities in the country. 294 colleges and universities representing both the United States and Canada were honored this year. Schools featured on the list represent the cutting edge of higher education, including experimental learning, study abroad programs, and internships. Remember, students, that spring advising began on October 24th. If you have not signed up for a meeting with your advisor, be sure to make an appointment right away. Web registration for classes begins on November 5th. Visit the Florida Southern website for details on when you can begin registering. Updating you now on a story that we reported to you a few weeks ago, Florida Southern has now resolved the trash can situation in student dorms and apartments. Michelle Maldonado has the story.
The trash can issue has been resolved. News on-campus residents are glad to hear. Natasha Malfers tells us what changes students can expect.
They still don't have trash cans within the buildings, but there are trash cans outside of the buildings, and we still have to carry our trash can outside. There's the big, huge metal ones that are outside that you can put them in, or if you have a dumpster out back, like I know Dell and Miller both have dumpsters, so if you take it out there, that's when it gets picked up.
Recycling has changed for most buildings.
There are no recycling bins within the buildings at all, except in Wesley and Nicholas within the kitchen. They are allowed to have them up there. But as far as the rest of the buildings, the fire marshal said absolutely not.
The city of Lakeland is responsible for the off-campus apartment trash.
We don't have the ability to take a car and drive around to every single apartment, but when Recyclemania comes up in spring, we're going to work and figure out how to count your recycling as well.
Senior William Smith describes what it was like not having trash cans.
It was not pleasant. I thought it was very disgusting. It's not something I was used to. On the school, I was actually used to usually just walking outside and throwing my trash in the trash can, not on the ground. Myself and my roommate both had an actual trash can full of trash, and we didn't know where to put it. So we just kept piling it up at the end of our beds, and eventually we're like, we need to get rid of it. And I walked outside the door, and that's whenever I seen a pile of trash. And I'm like, others are doing it. We have nowhere to put it. So we dumped it in the hall.
Although it was frustrating and unpleasant for a few days, students are glad that this situation has been resolved. For FSC, I'm Michelle Maldonado.
Last week's convocation brought Cole Crecilius to the Florida Southern campus. Crecilius spoke about his nonprofit organization designed to help make a positive impact on global poverty. Mark Johnson, chairman of the Playing for Change Foundation, will be speaking next month. Talent Weekend at Florida Southern is taking place on November 9th and 10th. Visit the Florida Southern website if you are interested in performing. Juniors and seniors must register by November 1st. Opened in 2006, Black and Brew Coffee House provides downtown Lakeland with a gathering place for members of the community. Olivia DeArmond has more.
If you're wandering the streets of downtown Lakeland in search of a place both relaxing and enjoyable, look no further than the Black and Brew Coffee House and Bistro. Located on Main Street, this one-of-a-kind establishment is known for their assortment of gourmet sandwiches, savory soups, teas, cold beverages, and of course, steaming cups of coffee.
Black and Brew got started basically, my brother and I were both working at the same insurance company, and we just had this burning desire to get into business for ourselves. We both felt that through a coffee house it would suit our skill sets well, which were kind of complementary. We put together a business plan and shopped it out to our friends and family, and were able to raise the funds to get started.
Chris says that originality sets Black and Brew apart from all the rest.
A huge mission for us in the beginning was to differentiate ourselves from the typical bohemian style coffee house. I think what really separates us is the uniqueness of our menu. I think there's something interesting, always something new and interesting to taste on the menu. A lot of people don't realize we have craft beers and boutique wines, so there's a little something for everyone.
I'm from Pennsylvania, so I have this place called Cosi, and this is the closest to it. And the menu items are very different, they're very unique, and I know the owner since I used to work here, he picks out each item with such care and, you know, mixing flavors and matching them together. And I just enjoyed the fact that it's also a small place.
Selections range in price from $2 to $8, depending on the item your taste buds are craving. And Wi-Fi is also available, so students can study in a fun, peaceful atmosphere. For Menus and Venues, I'm Olivia DeArmond.
For more information on Black and Brew, head over to their website at www.blackandbrew.com. Local high school and college students are working together to create a haunted house just in time for Halloween. Buckingham Terror is designed to frighten the most brave adults and kids alike. The house is located just off of Lake Hollingsworth. Tickets are $7, and all proceeds raised will go directly to Campfire USA. And finally today, residents of Polk County came out to help combat heart disease last weekend. Over 1,000 people came out to Joker Marchant Stadium on October 13th to show support for heart disease survivors and help raise money for research opportunities. Local businesses such as Watson Clinic, Polk State College, and Bright House Networks all served as sponsors. Subway was the signature sponsor of the event. And that's our show for today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Austin Snodgrass. We hope to see you right back here next week.